all the new dreamers who have joined our community. Well, let me take 1 second to kind of tell you what Dawn Dares to Dream is all about. Here, what I love to do is inspire and motivate others to dream again. As we go through life and take on our different roles, we tend to put our dreams on the back burner. And my goal is to help you ignite those dreams again. Today, guys, we are making red snapper. It's my favorite fish. I always buy it at the market. But you know, every time I make the fish, I fry it. And frying it isn't the most healthiest way to do it. So I decided that I was going to do things a little bit different today. So today we're doing a red snapper in a lemon herb butter sauce. And I'm going to serve that with broccoli and red potatoes. Now, so we have our red snapper here that I got from the Asian market. And of course we have these beautiful shrimp as well. And then we have our lemon that we're gonna use. We have our red potato for a side. We also have our broccoli, our fresh broccoli as a side as well. And we're going to make an herb butter with basil. And with our butter we have here in the bowl. And we're gonna season up the butter with some lemon pepper. And we're gonna sprinkle some paprika on the fish to add color. And of course, we need a little bit of salt for flavor. And I think that accounts for all of the ingredients I have here on the table. So we're gonna go ahead and get started cooking. The first thing that we're gonna do is chop up this basil and mix it in the butter. And then refrigerate the butter so that it can solidify together. So I'm gonna roll this basil up and I'm gonna start with doing a julienne of the basil, and then I will continue to chop it further. Typically I would just stop at the julienne, but I'm mixing it in the butter, so I don't want to have big chunks of it. I want it to be a little bit more refined. Now the recipe calls for whatever herb it is that you like. And to be honest, I hardly ever use basil. I bought it for another dish and I still had some on hand because it wasn't sold in small quantities. So I figured I would just use the basil and make basil herb butter. So I think I've done a good enough job chopping up the basil. So I'm now just gonna take it and stick it in the butter. Now you want to have your butter out a little bit because you want it to soften so that you can combine the basil and the lemon pepper and the butter. So we're gonna shake, I would say 1 tablespoon of lemon pepper if you're going to measure, but you know me, I don't measure. And so I'm just gonna take my fork because my butter is softened. And as you can see, my butter is soft. So I'm just gonna mix it together. And then I'm going to refrigerate it so that everything will come together, and we'll put this on our red snapper at the end of the baking process. So that looks good. Looks good to you, looks good to me. And again, you can use whatever herb you like. So if you like sage, use sage. If you want to use thyme, use thyme. I wouldn't necessarily use rosemary because it's so hard and prickly, but thyme, sage, basil, any soft green herb will work perfectly in this dish. Remember to turn your oven on 425 because we're gonna bake the fish and you want the oven preheated to 425. I don't think I told you that in the beginning. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna quarter these potatoes, and then I'm going to put them in a pot and boil them, and I'm going to use some of the Greek potato seasoning that I got when I went to Greece a couple years ago. I don't typically eat potatoes, so I haven't really been eating it. I think my mother's been eating it a little bit, but this time I'm gonna eat it and I'm gonna enjoy it. I initially bought those seasonings because I love the flavoring of Greek food. So today I'll get a chance to have me some Greek potatoes. And yes, you can roast the potatoes, but I don't want to wait that long. So I'm actually just going to boil them instead of roasting them. But roasting them will be great as well. We are actually going to serve the fish on a bed of lemon. And of course, I do have a special topic today. My topic is gratefulness, gratitude, thankfulness, how important it is in our personal development. Now, I know you've heard before, you should be grateful, you should always show a level of gratitude. But what gratitude does is it opens up a door for you, because you're telling God, you're telling the universe how much you appreciate what you already have. Remember, we're working on the keys to activating the law of attraction, correct? Now, if you're grateful for what you have today, it helps you to pull the things into your life that you want tomorrow. But if you live an ungrateful life, it is very difficult for God to work for you and to bring you things when you have not acknowledged what you already have. Now, some can say, I don't have anything to be grateful for. My life is a mess. COVID-19 happened. I got sick. I lost my job. There is no employment. I had to homeschool my kids, so how could I go to work? And you could think of all these things from a negative point of view. But what I admonish you to do is to be thankful for the blessings within the disaster. So you get to spend more time with your children. Be thankful for that. You guys are healthy. Be thankful for that. Just try and find any little thing that you can be grateful for and express that gratitude. I have read where some people say it's good to have a gratitude journal. So every day when you wake, or every day when you go to bed at night, or both, you want to take this journal out and you want to write down what you were thankful for. And, so if you're doing it in the morning, you're thankful for what great things are to come. If you're doing it in the evening, you're thankful for what great things already transpired. But it is very important to show gratitude, and not just show gratitude to God by being thankful, but showing gratitude towards others. It is just a natural human instinct to want to help and do more for someone who shows a level of gratitude that you did not expect for things you were already going to do. So I know when someone shows gratitude towards me, I typically tell them I don't need a thanks, it's okay. But it does make me feel good that they acknowledge what I've done for them. That is so important. So remember, gratitude is key. Now, I have placed the potatoes on the stove to boil. I have also placed the broccoli on the stove to steam. Now, the potatoes are going to get the Greek herb seasoning that I told you about with some butter. Now, the broccoli is just going to simply get some salt and butter. And as you can see, I really love my butter, but I'm going to use real butter, people. I am not going to use margarine. As we can see, we have our red snapper here. I'm going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper and the shrimp as well. And I'm going to lay them on top of the lemon here. Now, what you do need to understand is the recipe did not say red snapper and shrimp. I decided to add the shrimp because I had it in the refrigerator and I kind of need to cook it. I don't like to keep my seafood in the freezer, but for so long. I like it to be as fresh as possible. So now I'm going to go ahead and place the snapper in here, but I'm going to season it on both sides because as you can see, I had them to remove the skin. I do not like fish skin at all. Can't stand it. I don't like it. So I had them remove it for me, and I'm just so glad that I did. So we're going to season both sides with the lemon pepper, salt and pepper, and a little bit of paprika. And the paprika is really just for browning. There we go. We're going to do some pepper. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty. And now we have some salt. I do use typically Old Bay, but I'm not doing that because I'm adding this herb butter, and I don't want the flavors in the Old Bay to conflict with the herb butter. So put a little bit of salt. And I'll salt the shrimp. And now I'll flip it and do the other side. Just like you would do if you were seasoning chicken, you would season both sides, right? Or steak. So we're going to do the same thing with the fish. So do the lemon pepper. Just a little bit, just a little dusting. Because remember, the lemon pepper is also in the herb butter. Pepper. Now, in this case, I looked up recipes for red snapper. And this recipe, I actually had the ingredients for, and that's kind of how I chose it. There was also one that was more on the lines of a Mediterranean feel, and I wish I could have prepared that one, but I really didn't have enough ingredients for that. And let's not forget the paprika. There we go. Oh, it's rather humid here, so the paprika is sticking. There we go. There we go. Give it some color. And to be honest with you, I really wanted to grill this, but the only reason why I'm not grilling, it's been raining here, so my yard is kind of mush right now. But I really wanted to grill this. So I figured I'd still keep it healthy by putting it in the oven. So you know I have my lemon lime pan, as you can see. So I'm gonna lay the fish on top of the lemon. Do that one this way. And then I'll put the shrimp all here. So we have everything in the pan, and we're just gonna stick this in the oven. And literally this will probably take about 15 minutes, and then it'll all be done. Gratitude is a very important key in activating the law of attraction. I read a book many years ago, again, that my Aunt Rose recommended, Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. And in that book, he places extreme emphasis on living for today. Now, he's not saying live for today with no hope for tomorrow, but he's saying whatever you're doing today needs to have an impact for tomorrow. But all we have is today. So you can't be so consumed with the future that you're not living now. Now, what I want you to understand is in living for today, in order to have that abundant future, we have to be grateful for what we have now. And of course, I understand that you may not have all your needs met, but there are some that are met. You are not left out here isolated and desolate. If you were, you would not have a phone right now. You would not listening to my YouTube channel. You get where I'm coming from? There is a level of gratitude that we can always have. And I'll give you an example. Growing up, I remember seeing the St. Jude's children thing, how the marathon, how it runs at night, and how they always had those commercials about the kids and their disabilities. And when I saw that, I said to myself, I may not have everything that I need. I may not have a meal every day, but I have my limbs. I can see, I can speak, I can hear, I can walk, I can talk. Seeing those kids in the manner in which they were in their circumstances allowed me to be grateful for mine, because I looked at my life like I'm neglected. I don't have what I need. I don't have what I want. I have holes in my shoes. I had all these issues, right? But when I saw that they didn't even have the ability to live a normal life, I said to myself, I have to be grateful. Now, if you did go to church with me when I was a kid, you'll remember I used to stand up and I used to testify, right? And my testimonies were always very basic. I was thankful for my sight. I was thankful that I could walk and talk. I was thankful to be alive, people. And that is the message that I'm trying to portray here. There's always something to be grateful for, and hold on to that, because that gratitude is going to get you where you need to be or where it is that you desire to go. It will help you to manifest your dreams, but you can't manifest your dreams if you're not grateful for something in your life right now. We have to show and prove God, the universe, whichever you believe, that we are worthy of having the thing, and we are worthy. I don't believe any of us have to become worthy, but what I am saying is gratitude opens the door for us, if that makes any sense. So people, hold on to gratitude. Please be grateful. In every stage of my life, no matter what I've been going through, before my son and now with my son, I've always remained grateful. And I believe that gratitude, the simplicity of it, is why I am blessed today, why I live the abundant life that I do today. And I am so thankful. You hear the irony in that, right? I'm so thankful that I had gratitude before, because it got me where I am now. Anyway, guys, just think on that, and I'm going to continue to nurse this food. And I'll come back to you when I'm preparing the sides and the main dish, the red snapper, is ready. Okay, everything's done. The broccoli's still on the stove, though. I'm just going to butter and salt that. I'm not going to do anything special to it. I'm going to butter and place this potato seasoning that I got when I was in Greece here, and then I'm going to place the herb butter on the seafood. So I want to do that first while it's hot. And see, now it's solid. So I'm just going to stick it on top. Yeah, I guess I could do it a little bit prettier. I'm just going to put the butter on top and let it melt and put some on the shrimp as well. So I'm going to take the regular butter and put some on the potatoes along with some salt and the actual potato seasoning that I got from Greece. And now let's add this. Just gonna sprinkle it. Just toss it all in there. See, there we go. And I have the herb butter here. You can see it's melting on there. And basically we're done. I'm just gonna butter and salt the actual broccoli, and guys, dinner is served. So let me just taste this fish here and see what we're working with. Let me get some of this butter on here. And it's so good. And the fact that it's baked on the lemon, you can taste the lemon in the fish. I just realized I don't have my apron on. Hey guys, in the middle of waiting for the food to cook, I took my apron off and I'm like, wait a minute, I have an apron on. Well, it's okay. So, if you like the video, give me 2 thumbs up. Remember to leave a comment if you have any questions about the recipe, if you have any questions about gratitude and how effective it is. And last but not least, remember to share this video with anyone who may be able to benefit. And subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, my face will be up here in a circle. Click on that. Click the bell, select all. That way you will not only be subscribed, but you will get alerted to all the new content that I post here to YouTube. So thanks for joining me today. Have a great day, dreamers.